The next question here, am I part of the problem here or the solution? Being part of the problem is peppering them with it. Are there any updates? Are there any updates? Are there any updates every 2 or 3 days? Being part of the solution is, here's something that I think might help move the process along. I hope it's helpful. Let me know if you need anything from me. I once had someone who was freaking out so much about a job that they actually they called a dozen times. First they emailed a dozen times, then they called the company a dozen times, then they went into the office and got escorted out by security. You're part of the problem if you're just pestering them. You're part of the solution if you're asking them questions. Hey, do you need anything from me to move this along? Hey, here's something that I came up with that I think might be helpful. Hey, what's going on your side that I can help with? Obviously, don't ask it that way, but that's what question we should ask in our minds. What is happening on their end that is delaying this process, and how can we help? If we can't figure out a way to help, then all we should do is be quiet and wait. The next question, could I be wrong here? Could I be wrong? If you think that ghosting is rejection, you're wrong. If you think that rejection is bad, you're wrong. Basically, anything that you're feeling in the job search that makes you feel bad is probably the wrong reaction. So if you're feeling like you're getting rejected by everyone and no one wants to hire you and you don't have the skills and so on and so forth, if you're just going down this path of negativity, chances are almost every one of those assumptions is incorrect in some way. And it's our job as the job seeker to flip that around and say, I may not have these skills yet, but the skills I do have can solve these problems. I may not have heard from that company yet, but maybe it's because they're busy. So I'm going to do this to make it easier for them to respond to me. If your instinct is to say, this isn't working, I suck, and I'm never going to get a job, I'm telling you, you're wrong. There are so many jobs out there, so many jobs. And yes, we're in a crisis, and yes, a recession is coming, but lots of companies start during a recession. Lots of people find work. It's the ones who step up and say, I solve problems versus I beg for a salary.